Monday, folks, and happy hot month of Halloween. Is it Halloween yet? No, it was October, so it's close enough. And during the Halloween during the October time, I do a lot more horror-based Who Would Wins. I try to include at least once a week one horror one, and then during the week of plenty more. And from Orange Bro After Dark, God, that sounds like something you'd watch on like Showtime or HBO. Orange Bro After Dark. Beetlejuice versus Skitzo the Bear, who is from, again, one second, I need to know where Skitzo actually is from. Beetlejuice is the ghost of the most. Now, as we learn in Beetlejuice, he was actually a grave robber who was managed to actually find love with a Monica Bellucci character who turned out to be a soul sucker, poisoned him, killed him, he killed her, and now he's the ghost of the most. So, as a dead spirit, he is, he can't be killed in the conventional sense. Unless you suck out his soul and actually straight out kill him, soul death, you're not going to be able to really kill him in a conventional sense. You could beat him, you could trick him, sure, whatever. That said, he is exceptionally hard to actually one-up because, for whatever reason, Beetlejuice himself is weirdly powerful. He's capable of just literally doing what he wants. Reality warping, shape-shifting, phasing invisibility, throwing his voice, controlling people, manipulating things, freezing time. Like, he can just do whatever he wants. He's essentially, he's a living cartoon. A living cartoon. He's a live-action cartoon. Obviously, in the animated series, he's a real cartoon. But he is a cartoon. Like, brought to life in some ways. It's really, it's really kind of odd, to be frank. Like, how powerful he is. Especially compared to other just spirits. Like, there are plenty of other spirits in his world where he's just not that, or just aren't that powerful compared to him. So it's just odd it's just odd that he is as strong as he is in comparison. I don't know why he's as strong as he is, but he is. As such, the question is whether or not Skitzo the Bear, frankly, can beat him. Skitzo the Bear is the main antagonist on his own show, which is, okay, he is a murderous cartoon bear in the comic series to be modeled after the 1920s. All of his cartoon shorts were shown all over the early U.S. However, unlike most cartoons, anyone who watches the shorts, it would make them go insane, start trying to kill anyone around them or commit suicide because of how dangerous his short is, along with the effect on the public health. All the shorts were collected and burned, thus ending Skitzo's history for good and sending him to hell, where he wanders to this day. Well, that's horrifying. In terms of what he's actually capable of doing, well, he's got an array of abilities, particularly the ability to manipulate his body, can twist his head and jaws around. He's kind of got rubber hose physics. He can turn intangible, go through spaces, absorption. He can absorb his victims into his body. He's got hammer space inside of his mouth or pants to store things. He has madness creation. Self-restoration. He has the ability to revive the dead, brought back a cooked chicken to life, which is horrifying. Weapon creation. Skitzo has the ability to create pitchforks, great, and reality warping. He can control reality just by his very presence. Now, all this is great. Both these guys are reality warpers on some level. But the question just comes down to whose abilities supersede the others. Because Beetlejuice obviously has the very clear weakness of, if you say his name 3 times, he will return to where he needs to go. But is Skitzo, first off, does Skitzo even talk? Can't find anything that says he does. Could the Skitzo, for example, would Skitzo be able to even figure that out? And quite frankly, does his reality warping supersede Beetlejuice? Because if he figures it out and tries to use it, is Beetlejuice going to be like, nope? There's no clear-cut answer to that. But, at least from what I can find, the consistent answer to that seems to be Beetlejuice is more effective. Also, the fact is, Skitzo was defeated by kind of the Freddy Krueger method of just forgetting his history and forgetting he exists. As long as no one ever knows about him or thinks about him again, and eventually the people who, know about him would just die off. He's stuck in hell. Whereas Beetlejuice, if he actually has to, or he can in fact get into the real world if he needs to. There are methods for him to get there. Obviously, normally someone has to bring him forth there, but he can still influence the real world. He can do hallucinations. He can affect electronics. He's a poltergeist after all. He can haunt things. So he still has methods of getting back in the real world. But even if we take that out of the equation, can Skitzo, for example, resurrect Beetlejuice? Because he can't kill Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice is already dead, but he can resurrect people. So if he resurrects Beetlejuice back into a living being, does Beetlejuice retain all of his abilities? Or is it because he's alive again that doesn't work? I don't think that's ever been brought up in a fight before, at least not by me, because he's never gone up to the opponent. Someone suggested who could do that. That's a real good question. I would argue he doesn't have those abilities anymore. And then Skitzo has to make the point of not killing him in the conventional way. Because if he just kills him, he just goes back to being Beetlejuice, and there you go. He'd have to do something different, like, say, absorbing him or containing him to beat him. Like, absorbing him would definitely be part of that. Or he could do that. But to be fair, I mean, Beetlejuice... So yes, Skitzo actually has an avenue around Beetlejuice's, let's call it, undead immortality. But Beetlejuice easily could just it's like, hey, who you, bub? It's like, and at first, Skitzo probably wouldn't know he's a dead guy. That might be the other thing too. He doesn't know he's dead. Hey, and I'm the ghost with the most. Just try it. Yeah. So the question, Beetlejuice could easily get rid of Skitzo by burning all of his material and just warping him somewhere. And if Skitzo's just stuck in hell, then Skitzo's stuck in hell, stuck there, and he can't get back. But both these guys actually have an instant win con, more or less, which is interesting in this fight. I would personally go with Beetlejuice first. I'd feel like he'd be able to tell, first off, thing's not human. So right out the gate, nothing. Second off, he's also got, again, his very presence warps reality. So Beetlejuice would figure that out very quickly. And Beetlejuice isn't dumb. Like, he can be tricked, but he's not dumb. He'd probably be like, all right, who are you? It's like Sully presents Skitzo. Hey, Skitzo, buddy. Oh, well, sorry. Oh, it says here you can resurrect the dead. Well, that's interesting. But unfortunately, I can't do that. I'm not really a fan of resurrections in this particular circumstance. So, how about a bonfire instead? Anyone bring s'mores? Like, because that's the thing. He can literally just pull things out of nothing. That's Beetlejuice. So, as long as Skitzo doesn't resurrect him, I'd say Beetlejuice is the winner. I do think, though, there's definitely a scenario where Skitzo can resurrect him. And if, again, like I said, we've never seen someone except for that kid in Beetlejuice, who almost gets resurrected, but then is denied. He didn't have any powers either. Apart from floating, he didn't have any abilities. So we just don't know. We assume he wouldn't be able to float anymore. We just don't know if Beetlejuice would still retain anything from when he's dead. My assumption would be no, but that's a gray area we never talk about in these fights. Still, I'm going to lean towards Beetlejuice. But look, again, resurrecting Beetlejuice, who's dead, that's a legitimate win con. And one that could definitely happen. So I will go Beetlejuice, but it's debatable who would win, really. I think there's a firm argument for both sides. That's my thoughts, though. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.